Assalamu alaikum
wa rahmatullahi
wa barakatuh.
My name's Junaid Rahim.
My name's Mohammed Yusuf Bashforth.
Together we're affectionately known as
the Two White Muslims.
For me, it was a complete shock. I was born and raised as a Christian. I went to church, was in a Christian youth group, so I met no Muslims at all. Where I lived, there was no Muslims. I didn't speak to Muslims, I didn't know any Muslims, I didn't know anything about Islam. And then when I was about 30 years old, I met Muslims and they started telling me about Islam, and it was so similar to Christianity, but it just seems better.
I was born and raised as a Roman Catholic. I went to church every Sunday. My uncle was a parish priest. I went to Catholic schools. But as I grew older, I started asking some more difficult questions. And instead of giving me answers, the priests and the teachers used to pat me on the head and they just said, "Oh, just have faith, son." Now, for me, that was never enough. So I found myself walking away from the institution of the church, but I never walked away from my faith in God. Now, 10 years later, and I was 28 years old at this time, I found myself working in an office in a town called Bradford to ask the Muslims that I met the same questions as I asked the priests 10 years previously. And instead of patting me on the head saying, "Just have faith, son," they actually gave me answers. And they showed me the evidence of those answers in the Quran and in the Hadith. And they gave me a copy of the Quran.
When I first started learning about Islam, it put a bit of fear in me, because I was looking at these people and thinking, I don't want to be Muslim. And so I asked really difficult questions. And I was trying to find the flaw, I was trying to find the problem, I was trying to find what was wrong with Islam. And I asked question after question after question after question. And to be fair, in the end, I found that there is no flaw. Islam is perfection and it's wonderful. But it did take a little bit of time. It took about 6 months for that process to happen.
When I read Surah Al-Fatiha, I read it in English. We all know what Surah Al-Fatiha is, but it was that surah that brought me into the fold of Islam. Alhamdulillah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. You know, we all know this.
Before Islam, I thought I'd got everything in life. I'd got a great job, a great house, a wonderful car. You know, I thought I was doing so fantastically well. And then I converted to Islam. I'd just taken my Shahada. It was like all of a sudden your life has purpose and meaning. And that's the biggest difference for me. It's a wonderful. We were working with an amazing chap called Dr. Adil Riaz, who's the chairman of Aghosh UK. Aghosh UK is the UK arm of Al Khidmat Foundation. And we were working from a Dawah point of view, and he said, would we want to do some humanitarian work as well? And we said, well, absolutely. We researched Aghosh UK, researched Al Khidmat Foundation, and when we saw the amazing work that we were doing, it was just like, you know, the answer is yes.
I've now looked into the eyes of an orphan child. I've looked into their eyes and I realised the life that they've had and the difficulties that they've faced in their lives. And I've seen the difference. The Al Khidmat Foundation and particularly Aghosh UK, I've realised now and I've seen for myself the difference that they make in children's lives. Alhamdulillah. I've never been to Pakistan before. I've heard a lot about Pakistan. But what I've also seen is a beautiful country with amazing people. Yeah, and the hospitality that we've seen has been second to none.
Lahore, it's amazing. We love it here.